Hi, everybody. Yay, it worked without a funky up. I'm so excited.
Hi, everybody.
All right.
Funky up. So
Hi,
excited.
everybody. All right, let me mute that. There we go. That works better. So there is no reverberation back and forth on anything. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it worked without everything all screwing up. So yay, I'm excited. Okay. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. Y'all know what we're going to do, some live gallery readings. And please excuse my cough and my cold, and I'm finally getting over everything, but it's like hanging on. It's just hanging on. I have my snacks, so I will be eating during this gallery. All right. Okay, so first off, this gallery tonight, and then next week on the 14th, I'm going to do a daytime gallery with JV Johnson during the day. It's going to be 1 to 2 Central Standard Time, done on Taps Media by JV Johnson on Facebook. So it'll be through that website or through Facebook. And then next weekend, I'll be at the Dark Christmas Convention in Hudson, Ohio, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do a free gallery there. So if you show up at Hudson, Ohio, you don't even have to pay for a reading. I'm going to do a free gallery and a panel thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then you can get a free reading with me if you wanted, but or a reading with me if you wanted to. But there's going to be a gallery, and it's free. And then the following week is Thanksgiving. I can't even believe it's right around the corner. So the second and fourth Thursdays, I'm going to do some stuff with JV. The first Thursday, it's going to be during the day from 1 to 2 Central Standard. And then on the fourth Thursday, it's going to be from, I believe it's 8 to 9 Central Standard Time on the Facebook Taps Media by JV Johnson. And then the first Thursday of the month, you can catch me on Beyond Reality Radio with Jason Hawes and JV Johnson. Okay. And then we do these little galleries every now and then. So let's see. I have a lot of people here. For those of you who have never had a reading from me before, you don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to go through the gallery and just pull people from the chat. So you don't have to go through and be like, pick me, because I see everybody. This is a slow enough chat frequency that I'm able to go through and I can back up and fast forward, whereas chat on Facebook is not like that. It's like 500 miles an hour, and once you're gone, I don't get to find you again until the taping is done. So I'm going to pick people out, and everything comes through symbolically. So I get my information from God, from spirit guides, from people who have passed over, and I repeat what they say and what they show me. And I do not consult dead people, because you can't confirm with them if they're really that person or not. So I do not. I just repeat what they say. If an animal comes through, I'll do the same thing. Tell you what they look like, what they smell like, what they're doing the best I can. So yeah, I'll just pick people out, and so I can throw this out there, and I don't have to repeat it 100 times. Everything comes through, like I said, symbolically. So the place that my guides have taught me to understand things is a beach, hence the beaches. And so this is where they've just basically taught me how to understand them and their symbolisms. So I try to go to everybody's beach first. I can't all the time, because these are very quick readings of what they want you to know right now, not so much what you want to know. I have to turn that down. Okay, so it really comes down to what they want you to know, and it'll be a very quick reading, and it's also, again, not maybe what you're looking to hear for, but it's what I can give you. So if I read you, then I'm going to move on probably to someone else, but I do go back and I try to find out if you've got a reply or if there's feedback about something. All right. Okay, so let's get started. And if I don't read you, it's not that I'm not going to read you. It's just that I may not have anything for you right now. If I flip back and all of a sudden there's something there for you, then I will do that. So I'm just going to take a moment to kind of just get my energy and then go. This is so good. Some tea. All right. Okay, and also, normally the camera is considered your eyes, like eye contact. But when I'm reading for people, I'm looking elsewhere. I can't focus on something because then it brings me back into the earthly body. I have to focus on what I'm being shown externally. And that's where we go with that. Okay. Richard Hodge. Awesome, Richard. You're listening on Beyond Reality, which is very cool. And you're here tonight. All right. Richard, I would grab you first. However, Tamara Kastner is screaming something at me here. And I know this sounds really weird, but Tamara, the one thing that I have to tell you tonight, it almost looks like I don't know if it's sciatica or if it's like that you fall and hurt your leg, but they're wanting me to acknowledge like my upper thigh, my right thigh is killing me. Again, I don't know if it's sciatica or if I've hurt my leg, but they're just saying to be careful and pay attention to that. I know that sounds weird, and it may be just that they want to confirm something with you that may be going on in your world right now. And I just want to quickly I'm wondering if it's you. I don't know if I don't know what it is, but it's like my thigh, it's my hip to my knee, right side, and it hurts really badly. And then they show you kind of laying there, so I'm hoping like I'm hoping you don't like actually hurt yourself, but they're just saying to be careful. And maybe it is just sciatica, and I say just sciatica, but that can be fixed with chiropractor. I would also take that symbolically as don't make any quick moves. I would take that as evaluate your situations and where you're going, and make sure that as you are stepping forward that you're stepping on solid ground and that there's nothing slippery underneath, no mud, no slush, no ice, no banana peels, that kind of a thing. All right, so then Richard, Doug, I have not forgotten you either. I see you all the time, and you're here all the time, and I promise you, I always vibe on you too. So if anything comes through differently from the last time I've chatted with you, I will definitely tell you. But right now, everything for you, Doug, is still keep everything in the past, in the past. Everything in the past, in the past. No more focus. Don't even look back. Like Lot's wife, you turn into a big pillar of salt. Don't look back. Don't even watch the devastation and destruction of your past. Just move on forward, Doug. All right. But no more past looking. No more past looking. All right. So, Richard, let's take a peek at Richard Hodge. Because you're listening. I don't think I've ever talked to you, Richard. So I'm glad you're here. All right. So, Richard, for you, what they're showing you is your earthly path. Before I even get to your beach, they're taking me more to the earthly path. And it looks like you are walking down a hall, and the hallway is that's how it's represented. It's like earthly path is a long hall with doorways on either sides. And you are walking, and there's like a light in the center of the hall, and it's kind of blinking on and off. It's like a really creepy horror movie, for me at least, because this is your earthly path, not mine. So I'm following behind you like, oh my gosh, who's going to jump out at us? But it's representative of whatever the word is. I can't even talk. I'm like so tongue-tied tonight. Uncertainty and not knowing what is coming next. So I want to, and I have to remember to put this out there too, that there's something else that's happening. So I have to remember to put that out there. But you, as you're walking, there's like money kind of just laying on the ground. And it's weird because you're looking at it like, why is this money just laying here? Like, why hasn't anybody tried to pick this up? And so you're suspicious too. Like, if I pick this up, what's gonna happen? And there's an uncertainty about it, but at the same time, they're showing money being just money laying around. And the message here is really if something is too good to be true right now, it probably is. That cliche. And I would say leave whatever you have found. Leave whatever this financial. I don't think it's a blessing. It's weird. It's like you come across something that would appear like, oh, finders keepers, but there's something bigger happening here that it almost like you either uncover or discover. And so whatever the money is, it's there, leave it there. And he is so fast. I didn't even see him come down the stairs. All right. Yeah, blessings. It's not, and you want to. What the heck was that? My cup just moved all by itself. It did. My cup. I don't know if y'all heard it, but my cup just moved all by its lonesome. That's just great. I love that. Super exciting. Alrighty then. Okay. So, accept blessings, but don't, it almost looks like you're going to uncover something else with that. I know that sounds weird, and it may not have happened yet, but pay attention to it. Hello, Autumn, how are you? Yeah, there was a lot of people here, dog. Okay, let's take a peek. I'm just going to run through everybody that's here and kind of just get an energy of the room. I'm going to grab people with the strongest energies. And, all right. Perfect. Oh, this keeps going. I thought I was at the end. All right. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. So, let me move something here in my view. All right. Oh, people are talking about Christmas already. Oh my gosh, Tasha, I'm telling you. I haven't even started shopping yet. Such a naughty girl. All right. Let's see here. All right, who is that I just saw that I've got something coming through here? Sorry, I'm running through the room. This is kind of what I do in galleries too. I kind of have to like walk around the room and vibe on everybody and find out who's got the strongest energy. And then also Lalanya is here, so if you guys have questions, ask her. Okay. There was one person I run poo. You like my mug? My niece gave this to me, not Becky. I have no idea what it means. But when I do this, it might not be me. All right. There was one person I know I grabbed her energy. I know, Lorela, I am going to plan something for KC. I am coming to Kansas City. I was planning that for November, and I ended up going to Ohio. So I am planning Kansas City still. All right. Okay, so Natil Dunham, let me just check on you here real quick with your complications in your pregnancy. So let me just take a peek at you really quickly. Okay, excuse me. So Natil, the first thing that when I'm picking this up, The first thing is when I immediately get to your stomach, I feel nauseous. I feel almost like I can't eat, and it just feels like a dull, like a, normally with a pregnancy you're hungry, but this feels like hormones may be so intense that I really cannot eat. And it circles around. Okay. So now my back is killing me. I have a lot of like cramp area around the hips. I'm looking at like all of like the baby, the placenta. I'm looking at all of this. This all looks okay. What it what it really looks like, Nitya, is um I know this sounds crazy. I don't want to say it the wrong way. And is that correct? How I say it? More girl, but having. Do you know what you're having, Nitya? Do you know what you're having? Before I tell you what I'm seeing, just tell me if you know what you're having. Because I don't want to ever give somebody what they. Some people don't want to know what they're having. Is she there? Are you listening? Yeah. Big time throwing up, girl. It's like. And my back is just killing me. But the hyperemesis, I can feel like and I don't know the name of it until you put it on there. But just like anything in my stomach, I feel nauseous, like my stomach is just like empty. But a part of what's happening here, okay, you're trying to get pregnant right now. You're not pregnant currently. Okay, I'll tell you why. Thank God. Okay. Because you have a girl body. And everything that is put inside or anything that tries to implant is male. And so your body is rejecting it. You have, for whatever reason, like men provide the XY, but women's bodies decide if they actually survive. And so what you need to do, because I would look at you and think you must eat a lot of chicken and yogurt, diet things, things that create a more acidic body. You need to eat meat, potatoes, 4 bananas a day. You'll get pregnant with a boy. This is a long whole other different discussion, but I'm just telling you what the problem is you have this stomach thing going. I understand she isn't pregnant right now. No. You have this stomach thing going when you're pregnant, this hyperemesis. It's probably going to continue or get worse when you're pregnant. And then the backache part that I'm picking up on, I'm feeling that. So what you need to do is you need to eat more potassium, meat, potatoes, French fries. You need to eat like 3 or 4 bananas a day. You have to increase your potassium and your magnesium. You need to drink pH balanced water. Put some baking soda in your water when you drink it. Get away from sodas and pops. That will help because your body is rejecting those chromosomes. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. That we should probably chat at another time because I already know what you have to do to fix this. So I will touch on that more and I'll send you some information about what you need to do. because there are children up there for you. It looks like there's three children up there for you. So, girls and a boy. Girls and a boy. Okay. Thank you, Tracy, that I look nice. Oh my gosh. You know what? From dinner time to now, I just want to lay down and just be like squishy, and then I'm like, oh, that's right, I have to do something tonight. Okay, so Tracy. All right, so thank you. All right. Oh, and Natil. Okay, so the three children. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. So, Leslie, let's take a peek at you. So, for you, Leslie, your guides, the first thing they do is they put you down on your beach, which is good. It represents the fact that you're safe, you're secure, you're grounded. And there's a bit of a daydreaminess about you when they set you down. You're kind of daydreamy. And it almost looks like Disney daydreamy. So there's two things, like probably representing a trip of some kind that would be coming up or that you should go on or should at least plan. But then the daydreamy part also, people don't realize it when we daydream, we are off in la la land, literally. We are crossing dimensions. And so we daydream, all of a sudden we're inspired, we come up with new ideas, innovations, we brainstorm when we're daydreaming, we do all these things, and this is when our guides and everybody are like, okay, throw that in there, throw it, try to get her to think of this or him to say this, and we're inspired. The only thing about daydreams is when all of a sudden you're daydreaming and like Scooby-Doo flies by on a cloud, because your brain is still kicked in saying, this is reality, and what you're doing is fake. So all of a sudden your brain throws in stupid things like cartoon characters. Well, maybe it's only me, but it throws in these doubting things that make you think that, oh, I'm just daydreaming about what's possible. Well, when we daydream, we can make things manifest in our life. We can create, we can evolve. We become more connected with our guides. So for you, Leslie, what is happening is you're daydreaming, and they want you to know that they are really highly communicating with you right now. So pay attention to what you are hearing and what you are experiencing in those daydreams, because they're trying to give you the answers that you're seeking. So pay attention to that. Just pay as close attention as you can. Stupid cough. Okay. All right. Anita. Happy birthday, Anita Fallon. Happy birthday. Okay. So let's take a peek at Anita, shall we? Where is Anita? Anita Mann. That's a long joke, but somebody was put in our high school yearbook as Anita Mann, Mann. She's been like that forever now, Anita. Yeah. Anita. And it's her birthday. Let's see. I think this is where I probably have to put out that thing I was saying before I probably shouldn't forget. So just to kind of clear this up for probably you, Anita, and a lot of other people. Whatever is going on right now in the stars, and I don't follow the stars. I don't follow the cycles and the moons, and I do know, like, oh my gosh, there's got to be something coming up, but I don't follow them in an educated way. However, whatever is happening right now is causing people that are awake to, even people who are semi-awake, to realize, oh my gosh, something big is about to happen in my life. Something's about to happen. I feel like I'm supposed to make a difference or change something. I'm supposed to go do something. I just don't know what it is yet. And so what happens is you get to a certain point in your life where your soul recognizes that at this age and during this time, you are going to change jobs or meet someone or retire, whatever a big change would be for you. And the soul remembers that part of your life contract. However, when we're born, that's erased from our memory because I joke about it, but we can't have a cheat sheet to the very end of the game because that would be no fun. And so the soul knows something big is coming and it reacts. And the body, the human part of us, realizes, okay, my body feels like something's going to happen. So then we react to it by jumping the gun. And it's basically that we're going in the right direction. It's just that we get to that point, like the door's still locked. Like, ugh, it's like Friday, Black Friday. We're like, I know I'm supposed to be here and I know I'm supposed to be shopping and I'm spending my money, but I'm here too early. The doors are still locked. So I have to wait. It's the same kind of thing. It's that anticipation. It's that excitement that something's coming. You just don't know what it is. That's what so many people are going through right now. And so for you, Anita, when I see you, I'm seeing this occurring around you, but I'm also seeing you standing at the doorway, like taking people's numbers and checking people in. And so there's this calmness about you as a lot of change is happening and recycling and cycling over for people is going on right now, that you are kind of a calming factor for individuals. And so you may even be really tired of people coming to you and wanting to talk and not sure where they're supposed to go, but you aren't giving the proper advice because nobody in that position wants to listen to you anyway. They just want to tell you things. It's kind of like that. It's a limbo. And it just represents a point where nobody's going to listen to you right now. And you might normally be the person they come to talk to for advice, but nobody's going to hear you or listen to you or heed anything. It's pretty much just all in vain. So just know that you're not failing as a friend or a therapist or whatever. You're not failing. It's just that people they're not in the mood to hear. They're sitting there listening to you and they're watching to wait, like, yeah. They're waiting for the person to come unlock the door, like, yeah, that's great. Okay, thanks. That's what they're doing to you pretty much. So otherwise, you would be a really great ear and listener and therapist. So yeah, that's important to know, right? Let me flip through here. All right, let's take a puck here. Pink, you were right. There are so many ways to have babies. Exactly. Lots of ways to have babies. Amelia London. Excuse me. All right. I'm looking, Amelia, for anything, because you're saying here that finances, that the door has been locked for your family for a long time. So I'm looking at, I'm placing you down on your beach to find out where your guides are going to put you. And then I'm looking at the circumstances. Like, has there been something that has previously happened that this is a lesson to be learned? Or is this a new experience? So that's what I'm looking for right now, to find out what your guides are telling me to help you with as far as understanding. Now, the first thing that they do is they do put you in a round room full of doorways. And so it does say that there are opportunities. There are doorways to open around you. And it just means that some of those doors may not be what you want. They may not be what you feel are correct, but they are opportunistic doors nonetheless that they're saying you should probably open. And simplification is one. And letting go. I guess, I'm looking at what they're saying and I'm like, you know what? I could walk away from everything that I own. Absolutely stick me somewhere in a cabin in the woods and I'll be fine. I don't need anything on this earth, like, other than my people and me, because it's all material. And I think you already get that. I think that you have a humble enough energy and spirit that you're just like, I feel the same way, Rebecca. I'm totally the same way. I can like hear you saying this. So then when I pick you up and I drop you on the beach, the first thing that they're showing me, oh, they just pulled it away. Come on. It's about her finances. Really quickly, just give it back to me. Okay. On the wall, really quickly, when I walk into the first door on the left is your money, finance, career room. On the wall, there's tubes that represent money that comes in and money that goes out. And there's a tube that comes in, but there are several other tubes that are smaller all around it, and then there's a bunch of holes there as well. So this tells me that you have a lot going on. One, that you're a jack of all trades and that you're good at a lot of things and you don't focus on just one thing. But that what they're saying is you need to find something to just hone in on, just one thing to hone in on, so you are not completely spread out all over everything. And then seal up all the rest of those holes. It's it's almost like a hit or miss. And so the people around you especially, focus on one thing. Make it one deal, one income, one outgoing. Focus where you're needed, and then from that, when it's next portion of your journey for finances, then move on from there. You'll know when it's time to move on. But they're just saying you've got to find one thing and hole up everything else. You can't have a main job and then several hobbies that you're doing to make money. It's spreading you too thin. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. Penny, you have 5 children too. Whoop, whoop. Yes, I have 5 children. Okay. All right. Amelia, home mom of 5. You know, I will tell you this. It's funny for people who are trying to have kids. And it doesn't happen all the time. For any of those people who are listening, I knew that I was going to have my children. I knew I could see them, and I knew that they had to come down. So I had to find a way to convince my husband that these kids they're supposed to come down to us. So I actually traded my daughter, number 5, for a motorcycle. It was kind of like, you sign those papers, I get a girl. That's how that happened. Then after that, I thought, I don't see any more children. I don't see any more for me. I'm okay. Okay, my kids are all crying right now. What time is it? Is it like bedtime? All right, let's see. 9:30. They need to go to bed. It's great. It's awesome. Okay, so I didn't see any more kids. But I thought maybe I'm supposed to have more. I'm thinking maybe I should have more. Never even had any more kids. And everything's fine, Rebecca. You can have more kids. No, I'm not supposed to. So then I realized in hindsight, looking back, thank God I didn't have any more kids like I had tried to have more kids. Because now these other things have happened that another child would have completely kiboshed and things would never have happened. And if you look at people who maybe you know personally, maybe they're out in public, maybe they're in the public eye, and they're trying to have kids forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It never happens. And then all of a sudden, they're with someone else, they get a divorce, boom, bam, they're knocked up. Okay? Those children up there, they have a way of choosing when they come down, what they want to learn, who's the best provider of those lessons, be it a heroin addict, and what it's like to grow up around that, being poor, being rich, being a superstar's child, living with grandparents. There's a lot of different lessons that children choose to learn. And so, oh my gosh, all right, holy cow, I'm about to have to go take a break here and whoop some children's booties. All right, so Um, it's it really comes down to not just us, but what the lessons the child wants to learn. And maybe when we're with someone, that child is like, nah, I don't want that to be my mom or my dad. And then all of a sudden you end up with someone else and bam, you're having a kid. Because that's what the lesson provides and it's able to happen that way. So it's really, it's not, it's not always just us. It's just what the child has also got to learn. And I try to get people to understand there's people out there I'm like, I know personally, I'm like, she's not getting pregnant because that child doesn't want that as daddy. I already know it, but how do you tell somebody that? Like, that's the wrong dad. You need to go find a different baby daddy because it's not going to happen with him. How do you tell somebody that? I just don't. I just stay out of it. I've learned to zip my lip. Okay. Okay. So that was for anybody who is out there trying to get pregnant and really can't. All right. All right. All right. Let's see here. How do we see our kids if we're supposed to have them? If we want them, if we have them wanting to come down, I would love to know. 1973 baby. Now, when I look at you, I see a child around you already, a son, I'm assuming. And you, I'm looking at if you have any children that are still there on the other side as spiritual or if there's any coming down. And I see I'm wondering if they haven't decided yet if this is going to be a boy or a girl coming down to you because it's blurry. Like they keep flipping it back and forth. Excuse me. So it's almost as if this hasn't been a decision made yet as to who the best is to come down to you right now for the lessons to be learned. But I can tell you that there is a child that's going to be coming down to you. And I'm wondering how. I'm wondering if this child is going to be coming through you or if you end up adopting this child. Because there's a lot of deciding factors still being made around it. But it looks like it's definitely going to happen. It's just part of the waiting game right now is because it hasn't been figured yet on the spiritual side. Sometimes kids a woman will get pregnant and start to come down and be like, wait, stop, hold the horses. We need to change this up. Boom, she has a miscarriage. Child goes and refigures everything out and then comes back down. I know, it's a whole other subject. Okay. So let's see. Kara W., you are about to go on a whole new journey where it comes to not only figuring out who you are, but also where your career and education are concerned. And so you are, you're on your beach, you're about to get on the boat and go out in the water. You look very educated in how you're doing this as well. You're not making a frivolous, quick choice. You're thinking things through. When you make this decision, I can tell you that you will probably lose somebody, meaning you will end up having to cut off a relationship with someone in order to do this unless that person decides to wisen up and join you on the other side as you complete your life tasks. But, I'm going to tell everybody who's listening, not just Kara W., that if you're passionate about something, if you really want something very badly, if you just feel like I have to do it this lifetime, and you've got a human around you who is saying, well, if you do that, I'm just leaving. I can't. If you're gonna do that, you're obviously gonna cheat. If you're gonna do that, you obviously don't love me. If you're gonna do that, you're gonna just outgrow me. Well, not if you want to grow with me. You can grow with me and we can grow together and have fun and laugh together and do these things together. Or I can do it alone. It's really up to you, but I'm gonna do it. And you should never make choices based on somebody else's happiness. Because I can tell you personally, I've done it twice. And it will never happen again because those people are no longer in my life. And I still have not accomplished those other things. That's my own fault. And so because of that, never let it happen again. So I like to make sure people understand that because I know it hits home with a lot of people. So Kara, when the boat is ready to go and you know you have to take the ride out onto the water for these opportunities for yourself, do it. Don't stay behind for someone else. Whoever is meant to stay in your life is going to stay in your life, simply put. So, I always tell women, I tell men too, if you've bought a wrinkle cream and after 2 years those wrinkles are still there, you need a different cream. It's that simple, okay? Because it's not going to reduce, it's not going to remove any wrinkles. All right. Hi, Susan. How are you? All right. Let's see. Okay. Toey, I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you right now, what this is regarding. I think this is more of a physical message, but they show you holding keys and you're doing this with these keys. So I'm not sure. It feels more of a physical message than it does a spiritual message. However, I just want to look and glance to make sure I'm not missing something. There's 1, 2, 3 keys on there. So 3 could be the number, like the 3rd of the month, 3 days from now, but 3. And then on this key ring, meaning also symbolically that you already have the key you need to unlock something, to make something happen. You don't need to look elsewhere. It's already within your resources. So that's for you. All right, let's look. Who else here? Okay. I am taking everybody to church today. That's right. All right. Daniel Wilson. Hello, how are you? Kira. It's funny. No, Denise, you're not hard to read. I'm just waiting for something to come through for you. Daniel Wilson. Let's see here. So, Daniel, it's a weird picture. It's like it looks like a car sitting on the beach and it's spinning its tires. Like you're throwing sand all behind you. Thank you. I couldn't come up with the words. I was watching it and I'm like, well, I can't do the brain thing and the mind thing at the same time. But you're watching the sand just kind of flip behind you. And as you're doing that, the water is kind of trickling a little bit into each of the ruts that you're creating on that side. So the car is also kind of like doing like a tip like this. So spinning your wheels, and at the same time you're bringing water into your beach. So that right there makes it feel like things are happening to you, and it makes it feel like the problems are being brought right onto your world and into your world. And so that can be overwhelming. My advice to you right now, and it's funny because I'm like, where are you? Like, are you doing this? Is this like a Christine car? Who's spinning the wheels on you? Who's doing that? You're almost off behind the car. So it kind of looks like it might be a or more like a self-judgment thing. If it's self-judgment and you're building ruts into your beach that are filling with water, I would strongly recommend that you do not pay any attention to anything negative from people or from what you hear. Because if there's anything that's happening that you're starting to feel in limbo or caught in a rut, those negative voices that we hear they become very, very strong, and they are very hard to ignore sometimes, especially if we're like, yeah, and we agree with them. Don't listen to them. Don't agree with them. Just shut them out. Completely shut them out. It's not something that you need to listen to. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and somebody had said, I need more vitamin C. You know what? I eat so much vitamin C and ester C and so much vitamin C. I think my body's just like, we know that. We're used to it. So it's just like, okay. All right, so where is this Denise? Is it Kazi or Kazi? Denise. I see thunder and lightning and black clouds. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. Just kidding. I would never do that. um, let's see, Denise. Where are they going to put you? And where do you belong? Down on the beach? Not so much. You're bored. Put you up a little bit higher. So what I'm doing is I'm picking you up, Denise, and I'm putting you different places on your beach. And there's boredom, for one. And it looks like your boredom may get you into a bit of mischief. Almost like you might cause trouble when you're bored. I guess it's not a bad thing. It depends on what kind of trouble you would cause. But every time I put you down somewhere, you say, I don't want to be here. This isn't like the water is to this. So I picked you up and I moved you to the forest, and you're like, I'm not going in there and I don't have time. So what it almost looks as if you are recognizing that the monotony is probably what is lending towards the boredom. And watching you moving around on your beach, this tells me too that you may be looking externally for people, places, things, focusing more externally than you are internally, because there are things that you don't want to deal with. There are internal things that you do not want to focus on. And so it almost is like it's creating a monotony of having to focus externally, of never really being able to focus and sit down and just be peaceful within self. And so it almost might even lend to a bit of nitpicking of the people around you, because you're trying for anything to keep your focus off of you. And you want to make sure for your own health that you go through, and this is, I'm going to say this to everybody right now, but for you personally as you're reading, you want to go through and you want to picture everybody and you want to forgive everybody. Even if you're the one that they've hurt, you want to go through and forgive them, Denise. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you to each one of them. Let them go with a hug and a kiss. Nothing else. No last words. Just, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. You want to say those words to every one of them. You then want to go through and you want to recognize any damage that has been done to you physically or spiritually. And you want to reach in to the top of your head and you want to find where it's at and you want to pull the blob out and you want to picture it for what it is. You want to set it on fire and blow those ashes away. You really need to do this, because when we suppress things, some people push it all the way down into their stomach. IBS develops, Crohn's develop. They push it down into their shoulders, their neck, their head, depending on how full you are. And so you need to go through and have a full forgiving ritual of the people around you, and then you need to forgive yourself. And by doing that, by looking at yourself saying, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. By saying those words to yourself, you will also unravel things that you have done to yourself that you may not recognize. So it's very important that you do that too. Okay. Amelia, crystal therapy. I know that there are people out there that will say crystals are the bomb, but I'll tell you what. Whoever you guys are talking about here, I missed the conversation. It's what you put into the energy, what is put into the crystal, that is going to actually make the difference. You can infuse them with a lot of energy. You can infuse this tea bag with love and hand it to somebody with love and healing, and hopefully they get better. You can infuse a lot of things with all sorts of powers, but not all of them are going to work. You have to do stuff to them to make them have power. So as long as somebody knows what they're doing and they're not like infusing a crystal with, I want to eat a peanut butter and jelly, and then they stick it on your forehead and you can't figure out why you're hungry by the end of that session, you may want to ask, what are you infusing these crystals with? Okay. Yeah. All right. All right, let's take a peek here. Crystal Farrington. This is interesting, and I'm going to read this because I've never really seen this. I don't even remember seeing this, so maybe I have, but I don't remember. You are out on the water, and you're in boat shoes. You're in boat shoes. They're shoes that look like boats. They're like that movie Forever After with Drew Barrymore and Leonardo da Vinci. He's out on the water in boat shoes. That's what you look like. It's the only way I can put it. And I have to say, you're doing a really good job. Like, you're walking really well. But imagine trying to balance on the waves and get your walk just right. I mean, that's hard. So what this is saying is that you've gone out onto the water. Again, water and any kind of floating device represents the desire to seek out new positivity in your life and to bring new opportunities back, to educate yourself, to increase your positivity. And so going out there like that, it's innovative and it's risky. But you look like you're having fun and you look like you're doing a really good job conquering this. Excuse me. So whatever it is that you're worried about going out on the water and doing, I wouldn't. I mean, because, excuse me, you may be taking a risk, but it looks like you have fun and you do a great job of it. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, well, I want to try those out too. So now you're inspiring people to try out these boat shoes. So, Crystal, stop what you're doing, girl, and take a leap of faith and be a little risky and go make a difference and go have some fun would be a good thing. It looks like it's a success for you. Okay. So, Jada, your question, should I take the business opportunity I have for the first part of June? I'm going to tell you, when I see that opportunity, I think that if you were to turn it down, you would always question and you would regret. And I'm going to have to say, it's funny because when I look at it, I think, I want to take this opportunity. I want to do it. But then I have to figure out how to manage everything else back here. So it's almost as if you're going to have to, in order to do it, in your own mind, not that it's a real situation, but in your own mind, you're going to have to figure out how to balance it and make it work. Otherwise, it almost feels like you create an anxiety within yourself about wanting to do it, but feeling like you're screwing something else up. And so it's not a life-changing thing. This isn't going to be like you're taking a path that's going to completely throw everything up in the world. It's temporary, and it's an opportunity, and it looks like, yes, you should take it. So remove the anxiety, and when things fall into place for it, you'll feel that much more secure in knowing that you were supposed to do it. I don't see anything holding you back from it, so absolutely do it. Okay. Let's take a peek here. Let's see. Excuse me. This is the most annoying cough. I don't smoke anymore. I used to smoke, but I think that's why I get such horrible colds, because I used to smoke. Toey, I know, right? I need to beat the Jesus out of this cold. Okay. Penny Cross, you're asking about your gift. You look like you have visions. When I look at you, You're there's like a projection out in front of you, and you're kind of like walking and trying to feel where you are. And so, if I were you, I would start paying attention to the visuals that you're seeing. And it's not, I have to clarify this. The visuals are not in your head. They're not like sitting down going, what's 4 plus 4? Because that's my brain. All of a sudden, if I do that, I am brought back into my body where I don't want to be. When you are clairvoyantly watching something, it's out here, it's away from you. It is a projection of a whole world in front of you. Like right now, I can see everything in front of me as if you were to put a transparency down in different levels. That's what you're looking for. It's not in your head. In your head, that's where you will let me clarify. In your head, you will have conversations with spirit guides, with God, with people who've passed over. Okay, you'll talk back and forth to them. That's why people confuse it with themselves. Like, I just had a great conversation with myself. That's how I figured out the answer. That's where they will talk through, because that's where you associate answers. You'll be like, I talked to myself and I got a great idea. That's that. When you daydream, you're like this. When you're daydreaming, you're up here. Now, if you just take that focus and push it down in front of you, boom, that's how you can see the visions. So, Penny, you need to start paying attention to what you are seeing. You know those, for anybody interested, do you know those books that you can get that you kind of look at and you relax your eyes, and all of a sudden in that whole scribbly picture there's a duck or a tree, and you can see the embedded visual in there, those illusion books? When I'm reading for you guys, my eyes are off in that kind of a state. Like, everything is physically blurry, but everything I see is clear. That's how you do it. When I look back here, my eyes are on. The moment I do this, it's gone. I'm looking elsewhere. So that's what you need to do, Penny. Robert Tao, you have a woman coming through to you, and she's saying to you, what are you waiting for? What's holding you back? What are you waiting for? And she's also saying to you that, we're only given maybe 100 years here. Like, why are you not just running out the door? Don't let fear hold you back, is what she's saying, because, well, fear is not from God. One, fear comes from the devil, and the devil and his little minions, not dressed in yellow with little googly eyes, when we are about to do something with ourselves or personal growth, they will download, upload fear, stage fright, all sorts of things to get a person to not do something that they really want to do. So when you're fearful of something, as long as it's not like a candy van in a dark alley, which is a legitimate fear, or a dog about to bite you, that's a legitimate fear. As long as it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fail. Oh my gosh, if I do this, what are people going to think? That's not from God. He's telling you, go do it, go do it. And you're hearing, no, I can't, you can't do it. You're going to totally screw up. You're going to forget the words. You're going to fall on your face. People are going to laugh. That's the darker things. So when you start hearing those things about you, you know that it's time to go out and just do it. And then have a good time doing it. So I don't even know who that was for. Who was that for? Robert. The woman, that's what she wanted me to tell you. Like, you're standing at the screen door. Like, you want to go out and you want to have fun and you want to get out the door. But she's like, what are you waiting for? Just go do it. And what sounds like somebody who would be about peer age with you right now, who would have died when they were younger, that looks like an accidental death. Male. And there's water around him. And wanting me to let you know that he's okay. Wanting you to let go. You'll have to let me know how this relays to you, Robert. Okay. Oh, Rebecca, that's really cool, Rebecca Waters. The spirit that visited you and woke you up was probably one of your guides. And so if you can remember that face, if you heard anything, write it down. You know, if you had a face, somebody come and wake you up, then yeah, definitely. That's really cool. Then that would also tell me, Rebecca, to tell you that if you are experiencing something like that and it smelled like apple cinnamon, that's really cool. Um, then you're waking. We all have that moment, like when we were about to wake up, where our brain still hasn't kicked in. So the brain still doesn't say, you can't see dead people, you can't do this, you can't do that. So we have like 5-10 seconds before our brain kicks in, where we can still see and hear and experience the other dimensions, as far as like angels, people who've passed over, they will come through here. So that's why it's such a vivid, like, realization of who we're talking to. And you'll experience them. And it's so cool. So I would say keep a journal or a digital recorder by your bed. And the next time you go to bed, just say, hey, I saw you. Can you give me your name? Can we communicate again? And you know what? Feeling spirits, it's what a lot of people do. They sense them, they feel them. It's just like if you're sitting somewhere and you feel somebody's eyes on you and you're like, you see someone staring at you then. But you felt the energy, because as energy beings, when we think of someone, when we look at someone, when we communicate with someone, we find them and we wrap our energy all around them and then we pull back. That's how we know if somebody that we love or we care about is upset. If they're angry, you're like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Not only is it the inflection in the voice and the tone, but even if somebody's acting like something's not wrong, if you know their energy well enough, you'll know something is wrong and that you probably should press the issue. Maybe not. Maybe you know the person well enough that you shouldn't press the issue, but you know something's wrong. And it's the same kind of thing. Knowing somebody's looking at you, you feel their energy on you. So you feel when you walk in somewhere that there's people all around you, but you can't see them. It's because they're in a different dimension. So for instance, 0 dimension is where we are. Those things that you feel and sense are another dimension out. They're right here. They're the dimension out. If they're with you, and then the dimension next would be like the shadow figures that you see out of your peripheral. The 5th dimension out, that is like heavenly objects and heavenly beings. And that's where you're seeing everything in front of you here. Lots of different things. And Cody, yes, when an energy is around you or is attached to you, you could get an immediate feeling of the shakes, the feelings of low blood sugar, anxiety, panic, because they do that. When they attach to you, they suck the energy out of you, which can be exhausting. All of a sudden you feel weak, like, oh my God, I'm just weak. All of a sudden I'm so tired. And then you might all of a sudden feel that pressure around you, that strangling feeling. You can't breathe. It mimics anxiety, panic, low blood sugar. And there are times when I'm even uncertain and I'll go, okay, maybe I'm going to check, I'm going to eat something sugary. It didn't go away. Then I'm like, okay, y'all need to go away. Y'all need to get away from me. You need to go away, leave me alone, unattached. I'll do Archangel Michael, and I'll do the cutting of the cords. But yeah, so absolutely. All right. So yeah. You all get it. You all understand it. Okay. So Kayla Holtgrew. Kayla, for you, the one thing that they're saying And I just posted something about this last week, but it's a picture of like a hand holding another hand, well, holding a rope or something, and it's like strangling the hand. See, and you are walking through a door, and you're hanging onto this hand, and it's like you can't stretch any further than you already are. So what they're saying is, in essence, that you're holding on to something. They're not holding on to you. You're holding on to them. Excuse me. And so it's hurting your hand, and it's time to let this go. Whoever this person is, it's time to let them go. You need to, and it's when you let go, you're gonna go phew, like through the door. So you're late for something. You may even feel like things are screwed up around you right now. So you better get your butt through the door and let go of whoever it is that you're hanging on to, because they're not walking through the doorway with you. Not right yet. Not right yet. All right. Let me get, what was that there? Who is that? Sarah Goad? Magic Eye, Stephanie. That's what they're called. The Magic Eye Illusions. Yes. Those illusion books. I'm sorry, I have to pull my hair back. I pulled it out of those things. This keeps me from playing with it all night long. All right. All right. Sarah Goad. Sarah, you are walking in what appears to be like a mud puddle, but you have these really awesome, beautiful, like white patent leather thigh-high boots stilettos on right now. They're beautiful. They are so disco worthy. They're really beautiful. They're even like low pointy toes. They're not like the platform ones. They're really beautiful. Hot. I mean, I'm watching those going, oh my God, my legs are sweating just looking at those things. But as you're walking, it kind of, the mud falls off. It's not tarnishing. It's not doing anything to these boots. They're like waders. They're like really stylish waders. From your perspective, to your left is a wall. And I can hear a lot of like night creatures, like crickets and frogs and all sorts of things. There's a lot of life around you. And it's really beautiful. It sounds like it would be scary, but it's not. It's really beautiful. So what they're saying is this. First off, there is obviously a situation around you right now where you are feeling held back by either a person or a situation that you're feeling like, I'd love to do this, but I can't because it feels like a legitimate reason, as if I'd love to do that, but I'm taking care of my elderly grandmother or somebody, there's a legitimate reason why. An illegitimate reason why is I can't because my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whoever will have a heart attack. That's not a good enough reason not to do something in life. Unless there's other circumstances, and that's a whole other story. But what it's showing is that you've got reasons right now why you want to be able to do something, but you can't, that are legitimate and real. And what this is doing is it may be feeling to you as if you're stuck in a situation or stuck having to deal with something, but these beautiful white boots almost are like protecting you. I know this sounds weird, and I hope I'm not confusing you, but you're walking, I would normally say take those off. Take off the shoes. But in reality, looking at them, you've got this wall to your left, and this wall is blocking any kind of like thoughtful, critical thinking, logic. Everything that you're relying on right now is really based on emotion. It's based on artistic expression and emotion and risk and spontaneity, all of those sides of us that represent spirit. And that can make you feel totally crazy because you're really doing your best to make a situation positive that is very well might be a negative, meaning it's not so negative, but life is happening to you rather than you're controlling it. if you just hang in, I would say probably, I don't know, somebody will have to look up when the next, if it's like a full moon or a new moon that's about to happen. If you just hang in a couple more days until that happens, it feels like there's going to be some resolution around you that you're finally going to be like, I can hear it go clink and like the locks open up and you're able to move and those shoes can come off. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. All right. Thank you, Kara. I got this from Matt Bezak. It's my wave for my beach, and he makes every single one of these by hand. It's mattbezak.com. It's pretty awesome. He makes them. Toei, yes, there's visual and they are audible. So depending on which dimension the energies are in, well, it's all audible. Yeah, it just depends on it's if they're standing right next to me, it's as if you're yelling in my ear, like me talking to you right now. If they're in a heavenly dimension, it comes through more like it were like the phone game or through a can. I know that sounds weird. I don't know any other way to explain it. Good, Sarah. I'm glad it makes sense to you. The new moon was 2 days ago. Okay, good. So, thank you, Amy. So, Sarah, for you then, the full moon will be the culmination of things for you. So, you've got, 13 days to go. Okay. No, Toei, I've taken Robitussin. I have taken everything I can. It's what the cold does to me. It hangs on forever. It never lets go. But I've been really healthy since January. Okay, let's take a peek here. Megan 333. Megan, the message to you, time to break old habits. Don't be fearful and try to hang on to anything that is habitual. Don't look back and think that was a fun habit, be it a person or anything. Like me, I'm like, I loved smoking. I did because I was addicted to smoking. I was like 3 packs a day, quit cold turkey. And I'll smell smoke sometimes. I'm like, oh, that smells so good. But if I were to pick up a cigarette right now, you might as well give me a carton. Okay, so regardless of what it is, bad habits, people, certain types of people, addictions of any kind, must have an addictive personality, and there's things, stay away from it. If you think you could get addicted to it, you will stay away from it. There's this thing about you gaining strength and trusting yourself. And so trust yourself. If you hear, if you do that, Megan, you're going to be like hooked. Trust it, because your guides are trying to tell you you're done if you do that. If you talk to him, you might as well just move him on in, because it's that kind of a thing. Listen to your guides. You're a lot stronger than you think. It feels like you've been through school of life. It's been very difficult. And now you have to take those lessons, because nothing that ever happens to us is in vain. It doesn't just happen to happen. It's not like, well, did you see that Megan got totally screwed on Saturday? They don't do that. It's not what it's for. We go through hardships in our life so that we can move through them, learn from them, and then help other people who are then going through that later on, because they are. There's a lot. And so you need to focus on helping others. It's one of your things in this life, is to be a servant to others, and try to juggle life as it is for you as well. So that's never easy. Okay. All right. Let me flip through here again. Serena Leva. Serena, for you, I am seeing a union or unity happening, coming together with someone, so a marriage of some kind. This looks positive. It looks like it is the answer to a path decision as well. So you coming together with someone else is going to decide which direction you go. And it looks like you would have continued on a very boring path of comfort, going this way of old, same old, same old, same old. But this change where you join with someone takes you down a new path of things that you've never done before, new experiences, and this is where you really want to go. This is where you actually have to go. It's just some people don't do it. And so this is a positive thing. So you coming together with someone else, changing your life, and you're heading in the right direction. So if that hasn't happened yet, you need to figure out how to make it happen. Okay. You guys talk so much, I can't even find the bottom of this. There we go. All right. If you're looking for something about that, sage is great, but sweetgrass, that's the way to go. Sweetgrass, frankincense, and rosemary, they will expel a bad spirit very, very well. Keep the good ones. Sweetgrass. All right. Let's take another peek here. I'm going to go to the top here and see. So I don't think Robert was here any longer. I think he left. Where's the top of this? Oh, that's my problem. Putting it on live chat. That helps. All right. All right. Okay, I'm at the bottom here. My live chat just kicked in, so I can see what people are talking about. All right. So Toei, I learned to decipher my messages basically by being wrong. So I tell people that if you want to figure out how to hone a gift, pull up a chair with someone and say, I'm going to read you. You tell me when I'm done where I'm right and where I was wrong. And so someone would tell me, well, this was good, so I know, okay, that's where I want to hook into. Well, this was wrong. Okay, unplug that. And by being wrong with people, I started to learn what it felt like where certain messages were coming from, and I knew never to listen to those channels then. I knew what comes through here, this is right. I don't care what someone says to me. I know what this tells me is right, and that's how you do it. You just do it that way. Okay. Yeah, I just I had to put it on live chat. Okay. Let me look up here to people I haven't read. Who's been here for a while? Anna. Annabelle. All right. Oh, Anna, I get it. You stopped for 7 years. It's been, I don't know, 9 years. I quit smoking 9 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. But if I were to pick one up, I'd be right back at it. So I stay away from it. So Anna, let me just look at you here real quick and see if there's anything going on. I know you always want to hear from Hunter, so I'm always open to him. But I just want to see if there's anything else. Gosh, everybody is so ready for change. Everybody is so ready for, there's a restlessness about everybody. Everybody is just trying to figure out what's next. Because I'm watching you and you're kind of pacing on your beach and you're looking out on the water, but then at the same time you're looking at your beach. And this is telling me that you're kind of torn between starting new things and not losing what you've got, not walking away from what's already there. So I can understand that the way that they're showing it, that you don't want to walk away from things that represent your life or your life up till now, but there are things that are going to be attracting you and calling you out onto the water as well, Anna. And I know your personality, and you're just as wild and crazy as I am. And so I suggest that when someone offers up a boat and says, here you go, that you get out on that water and you do it. Because you know the hunter's going to be right there with you. So, okay. Let's see here. All right, Matt, you keep popping up here. So, let's read Matt. Okay. Matt. First place they put you, Matt, is in a excuse me. Oh, I'm so tired. They put you in a brown recliner, like reclined back. And I'm just listening, like, is there a TV on? I can hear chatter. I don't see anything around you. It's very dark. Where are you? I've never seen that before, but it's earthly for sure. I'm wondering if it's actually like a physical thing, like you're actually in a brown recliner right now, Matt. Because it's definitely not symbolic, because I can't see anything else. What am I missing? What's that? Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the chat here, Matt, so I can see your response here. To your left, Matt, would there be a hallway to your left? I need to see if I'm remotely viewing you right now. Are you sitting in a chair right now with a hallway to your left? Thank you, Miss B. Okay. Now, across from where you're sitting, is there a large window or windows? There's a bit of a lag in when I talk compared to when I'm... okay. All right. So, did you hear that, Matt? Are there windows across from you at all? Am I looking at, like, windows across from you? Okay. And if I were to go to the right, would I have to turn right and go to a room behind me, like a dining area or something? Like if I look to my right, do I have to cut a corner and go around behind me? Into another room back here or something? It's funny. The reason I'm saying this is because I was actually viewing you, and they brought me into an earthly picture. You're in an end room, so there's no room behind you here, like a kitchen or something where people would eat behind you here. The reason I'm saying this is because I've kind of been brought to where you are, and then you've got a dude standing on your left. Like he came down the hall, and he's on your left. Right. Right. Only the left is the hallway. But behind you, like, is there the wall behind you? Is there a room on the other side of that wall that's like a kitchen or something? I guess it doesn't matter. It's just like I can hear food and stuff. Okay. So you have a guy that came down this hallway to your left, and he is in your face. He looks like he's either wearing blue jean, like, overalls, or like what farmers would wear. He's tall, and he has a jacket on over that. I wonder, it's funny because it almost sounded like he just said, go to work. It's time you go to work. And I'm wondering if he is really conversing with you or if he is thinking, okay, is your father passed over then, Matt? Because if not, you've got some strange man in your house telling you to go to work. And okay, okay. He was tall. I mean, maybe not next to you, he may not look tall, but to me, this looks like a tall, big guy. Like, he looks like he's a big guy. Not heavy set, just a big guy. You must be doing something with your life that he is saying he wants you, there's something more he wants you to do. There's something more he wants you to do. Maybe you know what that is, but he's basically saying, go to work. Go to work. Okay, so this must be your dad. He's on your left, so wave. Hi, Dad. He brought me into your house. So, or wherever you are right now. He must have been a stickler too, like just a rule follower. I can't talk. It's very cool. And yeah, good. Do it because he's wanting more from you. He's trying to tell you there's more than what you're doing right now, that there's more that you need to go for. But he's also saying that you need to eat better and take better care of yourself overall. Like, you need to eat better. You need to just take better care of your time. Okay. Very cool. It's very cool. I'm glad I came through for you, Matt. All right. I love remote viewing. See, that's what's really cool is when I do parties and stuff or galleries for people who are far away. The fun part is the very first few minutes where I have to come into the house and then I have to figure out where everybody is sitting and the whole structure of the room and then hair colors and who's wearing what and figure out who I'm reading first. And that's the fun part of the reading because, well, the readings are fun too, but the really fun part is when people are like, oh my God, and they know who I'm talking about and where I'm standing in the room. I don't know, it's really cool. So it's a lot of fun. Okay. Lalanya, for you, girl, the one thing, it actually isn't for you, but it's for your husband. And this looks like for him that where work is concerned, he may come home telling you that something negative has happened or something bad has happened. But actually, it looks like whatever has been removed or that appears to be negative actually turns out being a positive. It almost looks like somebody higher up is looking at him for a job and it may not look like that at first, but it turns out, I'm wondering if he's up for a promotion or if he's going to get the recognition for something that he deserves. So, that is for you, Lilonia. You can tell your hubby. All right. Let me get on down here. All right. So, let's see. Tracy. That's funny. Okay, so Pink, where is Pink? Oh, Pink, you know what? I don't ever see people naked anyway. So, I guess I never thought about it, but I don't see people naked. All right. Let's see here. And if I did see somebody naked, probably wouldn't tell them. But I guess when I'm reading people, I see people all sorts of ways all the time. So it's in different lights and energies, and some people are dressed a certain way, some people are naked, but they're more not naked. I just know they're naked. They're not actually standing there naked, like I can't see their body parts. They come across more of like glowy or blurry. So guides are good like that. And so where was pink? There we go. All right. All right. Ooh! I almost broke my thing here. All right. So pink. You are definitely on a journey of self-improvement, and they put you up away from the water, no worries, no, well, not that we don't have worries, but really nothing to focus on that should worry you right now. They're basically saying, don't worry, don't worry. And they're putting you up by the house, and the house represents you specifically. And you have like glasses on, your hair is pulled back, and you got like a toothpick through them, and well, actually a chopstick. It's bigger. And you've got a pencil in your mouth, and you're reading and writing, and there's a lot of education happening around you. You're learning, you're processing. You, on top of all of this, what's really cool, I've never seen this before, but you stop what you're doing and you look up at the house. Now the house is you, okay? And you look up at the house and you're like, and you start drawing it, and you're like, and you are sketching you as a house. And as you do it, you're putting new shutters on it, and you're adding a balcony and putting a new roof on, and neat doorway. I mean, there's this whole other way that you've drawn yourself, and then you start etching in and sketching in all these different improvements that you're going to do. And so that really cool thing here is that you are very highly self-aware, and that you can see yourself as you are now. As you know, we all should be able to recognize our flaws. We usually do. But you see yourself as you are, good and bad, and then you look and say, now, it's not that this is bad or it's wrong, but I want to change that. I want to improve that. And so you just add some different decor to the house. And so that's really cool, because it's loving yourself as you see it enough to be able to draw it. But then going, I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to improve this here. I'm going to change my perspective. So you're also, this is good in the way that viewing yourself and knowing where you need to change and being willing to accept those things means that you're also probably a very unbiased individual, and you allow for other perspectives without beating people up, which is a good thing in this world, because God forbid you put your opinion anywhere, because you're just about to lose a whole bunch of friends. Okay, and probably incite some riots. So let's see here. So you've got this good thing going, Jill, about pink. Why did I call you Jill? Pink. About who you are and altering who you are. And, you know, the really cool thing about that, too, before I walk away, is that you're not hypocritical. You are who you are. You wear your heart on your sleeve. And people either like you for you or they don't. And you don't mince words, and you don't try to be somebody you're not, which is very cool. Okay. Excuse me. All right, I'm trying to get to the bottom here. All right. I said Sarah's name right. What? Deidre Lee, I will tell you that you're finally coming home. Looks like you've been out on the water for quite a while. And it's actually a very comedic, like watching you looks really funny. And like not laughing at you, but sometimes things are really funny the way they show them. But you're pulling your boat in from the water, and you're in like rubber boots and a long skirt, and you're just like, oh my God, and you're pulling it in behind you, and it looks really funny. It's just watching you is comedic. It's kind of like a Carol Burnett kind of a scene. It's funny. You look exhausted, you look frustrated, and you look like you've had an absolute enough. It's like going on the water would have been exciting maybe to, let's say, the idea of something foundational and setting something up, creating something from the foundation up. And then realizing while you're out there that this massive endeavor and this experience takes a lot of work and a lot of input, mentality, a lot of everything. And you look like you're on break, like you're pulling the boat in and you just can't wait to flop on your beach and just be unannoyed by people and questions. The good thing is that hard work is paying off for you. For whatever you did out on the water, whatever experiences you did, it's paying off. Now it looks like you're reaching a ceiling, meaning that you're reaching a point where people, you may not be able to grow or do as much as you'd like to, hence these rubber boots. And now you're coming back onto your beach. This is also a time to kind of write out what you've done. Just get on a raft and let the water take you, really. Don't try to make anything happen. Don't try to do anything right now. It's like a time of relaxing. It's a time of looking around, being thankful, and experiencing everything that you've done thus far. It's really what it comes down to for you, Deidre. Nothing bad. It's just a break time for you and being okay with a break. All right. Good night, Tracy. Oh, excuse me. Good night, Rebecca. I'm going to bed. Let's see here. Let me get to the top again. Whittle my way down. All right. All right, so is Morgan Gray still here? Morgan. The one thing that they're showing is like the need for excuse me. The need to just let go and get away. The need to just not tell anybody where you're going. Just go. Very important. Just go. Not tell a soul where you're going. And at the same time, there's so much work to be done. I'm watching you by a car, like on a dark road, and normally that'll mean like just getting in a car and going and not telling anybody where you're going. And that may very well be like just the want to hide. Because the next thing they show is that you're on your beach, so you're grounded. Your back is to the water, meaning you're not focusing on problems and stuff right now. You're more focused on solutions. And you've got wires and headphones and you've got all these things going on that I'm watching going, oh my God, there's so much that she's got to hook up and do, which means for me, symbolically, it represents a lot of work to get done. And just watching it, you look caught up in not only what work you're trying to get done, but everybody else around you too. It feels like people are loading you with things. I could see the desire to just get in a car and go. I'm asking them, like, when is the break coming, or when are you going to get a break? Not right away. And with that, it looks partially because somebody above you either is leaving or is going away somewhere and is handing you a bunch of their work. So on top of your own work, it looks like you're going to be... Kids must have spilled something on my chair. It's all sticky. You're going to be taking on somebody else's position as well. Not fun. Okay. A shape of a person, but just filled with sparkles. So, Morgan, you're asking, how do you interpret a shape of a person? when somebody comes through to me that's more sparkly, it's usually because it's a spirit guide. It's not a human who's passed over. It's an angelic energy. So a sparkly energy is usually angelic. All right. Toei, I'm so glad that you are, I don't know if it's me or Lalanya, but you are very concerned with my cold. Me too. I wish it would go away. I feel like a druggie. I just pop medicine all day long. All right. Okay, so Megan, you have bulimia that you're trying to stop. Perfect. You know, it's very hard to break bad habits and to break habits about and addictions. It's difficult because it becomes a way of life. Once we do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. And so, first of all, I want to touch on this, Megan, is the fact that you don't listen to I've said it before, but don't listen to anything that comes through that's negative about you. See, what the darker things have recognized, and I told you before, you've got a lot to do. You've got a lot of work to do to help other people. I remember that. They're telling me that. Okay, now I remember it. But when you are pursuing something that God has set you to do, when we are pursuing things that help others, lift others up, the dark things come along and say, no, no, no. Stop them. Do not let them succeed, because now they're going to be helping people that we're trying to tear down. And so you're trying to overcome bulimia, and at the same time you're hearing you're fat, you're not beautiful, you're hearing all these things. They're not coming from you. That doesn't come from you. It doesn't come from God. It comes from the dark things. And they're there to basically say, okay, make sure she just feels this. Let's keep this going. We don't want her to stop this. We want her to continue doing this because it's going to break her down. It's probably going to kill her eventually. And so overcoming it, recognizing it, it's one of the first ways of allowing your angels and spirit to become louder by listening to those good things. When you hear negative things about yourself, it's not you. It's not you saying you're bad, you're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, nobody loves you. All these things that people hear, it's not us. It's these things that are trying to wipe us out, because if they win, then we're not here to help all the other people behind us that can learn from what we do. It's very important. Okay. Let's look here. I've read for so many here. I'm just making my looks down here. Carol Jones. Carol, the first place they bring me is the earthly path, and they kind of touch me into the health section, or the health room. And the first thing that they bring up is like nervous system. I'm not sure if it's an autoimmune issue or what. So if you're not aware of any kind of anxiety or nervous issue that you may have been suffering from for a long time, you may want to go in and get it checked out, simply so you can get a handle on something or catch something before it turns into an autoimmune. But it feels like adrenal glands may be completely fatigued, and you may even be suffering from a bit of insulin resistance, but it feels nervous system related. So if these are things that you've been dealing with, or you're just now recognizing, I would go just get it checked out so that you can curtail whatever is happening and become wise to it. Because sometimes not knowing what's going on makes something 10 times worse. So Carol, for you, I would just go get that checked out. It's very important, of course, to get that kind of thing, get your health monitored. Okay. We had a lot of snow today. Mickey, I can tell you that people with dementia do not cross over confused. What's funny, what people don't realize is that when somebody is suffering from dementia, a lot of times they're not even there. What you are experiencing from them, what you are experiencing is their disconnect, because they're already communicating with people who've passed over. They're already talking to them on the other side. And when somebody dies, we're standing around their bodies, talking to them and saying goodbye. And they're already behind us going, I love you all, goodbye. Dementia is very hard. All right. Hello, Loretta. Um, the eating has begun. My energy is dipping for some reason. I don't know why. Something, whatever. Okay. Loretta. They're dipping me between your financial room, and they're saying, tell her not to give any money away, tell her not to loan money out right now, tell her not to spend frivolously because you won't get it back. They're saying that it's almost like you know, you're wise enough to know, and they're just saying make sure that you do not donate to somebody who is a lost cause, that kind of a thing. Being very careful with your money. But then they bounce you really quickly to your beach, and they show you very peacefully walking on your beach, and you've got your hands behind your back, and you kind of just, oh, my battery's about to die. Holy crikey. Not yet. Oh my God. My battery can't die right now. Hold on a second. Bradley. Please come here. Quickly.
What?
Will you run upstairs, please, and get my battery charger, my computer charger unplugged by my stuff?
Yeah.
Because it's about to die. Thank you very much. So, Loretta, it's basically, you're not worried, you're not focused on problems. There's this contentment of where you are, looking out on the water, and you're looking at it with like this peaceful grin, as if you have become wiser to something, that something has changed for you. And thank you, sir.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
That you've become wiser to something, and that there's just this contentment around you. You know, it's really weird because the battery is dying on my computer, and I had the life just sucked out of me a moment ago. So I'm wondering who is in the room that is an emotional vampire. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, who in the room is doing that? Okay. Hopefully you guys can still see me, because the computer just totally died. There is somebody that entered. I'm gonna have to. Not good. I can't even get my phone to work. This is not happening anymore. Are we still on? Alright, hopefully. Yay, it's on! Are you guys on this whole time? Good. Alright, hopefully. I've got you guys back. I don't know if you guys can see me. Can everybody still see me? All right, so there's definitely, I saw something and then I was very distracted by it, and someone came into the room, and all of a sudden I was exhausted. My computer died, bam, and then my phone wouldn't work. And I know, yeah, I don't want to waste my time with this, so I'll take care of it later. But I know what happened. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how this didn't all just like completely die. And I don't know if you guys can see me, but I can't see me. But at least it's still working. All right. All right, so I have to do something really quickly. I'm just checking out, I'm sorry, making sure this still works. But I have to do something. I wasn't going to, but I have to. Ah, crikey. Okay. So who's next here? Yeah, uh-oh. I know, this was total, I can't even believe it did that. Shauna Scoggins. All right. Yeah, that was crazy. I'll talk to you about it later, Lalanya. Well, when people focus their energy on someone, that can do it too. Because they know that that person has good energy. And so sometimes it's unintentional, sometimes it's on purpose. And they pulled on my energy, immediately drew my energy off of me. My computer died. Like everything, it was just weird. Just very strange. So I was going to read for Shauna Scoggins. So Shauna, I don't see anybody coming through. And maybe a question that you had to talk to someone who's coming through. But I'm looking and it feels more like you would have energies of people who've passed around you, specifically like here on Earth. So in the heavenly realm, you know, they can come and go as they want. But I'm thinking as I'm looking at you, Shauna, it feels like people are more around you. And I'm wondering if there's a birthday or a celebration going on that they would be prepping for right now. Because it feels celebratory, or it feels like a congratulations kind of a thing. And Shauna, it's, yeah, because they're not they're not in the heavenly area where I would see them. They're by you on Earth. Maybe your animals too, if you've got animals. If you've got them, they would see you. Okay. All right. No, Loretta, you did not kill the battery. All right. Jesse Garcia. Jesse, the first thing that they're showing for you is that you're going to be moving from a comfort zone. I'm going to read one more after Jesse, too. You're moving from a comfort zone to a new area, and you look like someone who, instead of doing something the easy way, would rather do something and learn from it. And so you're hopscotching across these wet rocks that are in the water, across this little like creek or stream. There is a bridge, like you could take a bridge down a little bit to your right, but you're taking these stepping stones, and you're very diligent too, and you do it very well. Like, you just are confident, and you're like ninja warrior all the way across, and you have good balance and, again, confidence in yourself. This also looks like this is a long time coming, that it feels as if you have been restrained or held back from making these positive choices, and now you have the ability. And you look very jovial and happy as you jump across these rocks. And that may be why you're going, I don't want to take the easy way. I want to live. I want to do it like this. And so this is a positive thing, and it may be scary at the same time, but you're heading in the right direction of leaving your comforts behind. All right, and one more person. I know time flies already. It's 11 my time already. It's so crazy. Pink, I'm not even going to say who entered the room when I got drained. I'm not even going to say it. Okay. Nope, it's I know who it was. Don't worry about it. It's none of you. All right, Alyssa 1225. You have like a marshmallow, lovey-dovey personality. People could just sit on you and be all squishy, and you would envelop them in love and hugs and comfort and taking care of people. And what's funny is, as squishy as you are and as lovey-dovey as you are, you're like, okay, that's enough. Get off. Get out. Off it. Like, you want, like, you do not enable people. You take care of them, and you give people what they need. But you're blunt, honest, and you just have a very trusting, trustworthy way about you in the way that you do things. Oh, okay. I didn't know you went upstairs. And you really you do so much for other people. I'm watching you over here. That's what I was doing. I'm sorry. That it's all about the smiles and the comfort that you give to everybody else. And then when the door closes, there is this bit of a sadness about you, almost a little bit of a loneliness or a sadness. And I think Spirit wants to just recognize that you're never, never truly alone. And that when you aren't sure, you already know this though, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you aren't sure or feel like you've got anyone to talk to, you can always go to him. But I think you already know that. So I think just your personality is being recognized. Your squishy, marshmallowy, lovey-dovey personality that's taking care of people. It's very cool. So I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight. And next time I'll make sure I bring my... There's always a glitch with Rebecca, though. There's always a glitch. So thank you all for coming. And then the next one is like in December for me. But you can catch me with JV the 14th in the daytime. That's from 1 to 2 Central. And then the last one, whatever that is, the 28th, from 8 to 9 Central. We're going to do that live on his page again. So you guys, and then make sure you subscribe, because when I get free time, I just get on and read people. So you guys are all very welcome. thanks for hanging out and not leaving and ditching as soon as this happened. I can't even believe that it stayed hooked up. I can't even believe it stayed hooked up. So I appreciate you guys, and it's always a lot of fun. And thanks for caring about my cold. Hopefully it'll be gone next time I do this. So you guys take care. Much love. God bless. Good night.